So in Australia at the moment, we are going through what is an energy transition. The old coal power stations that we have are really coming to the end of their life, and we're having to decide what do we do in the future. And those coal stations are not closing because of climate change, they're closing because they are old and not very good. And basically the owners of those stations no longer want to invest in those, and they're looking at new assets. So we are on a journey really to transition this entire energy system, and it is going in the form of a renewable energy system. So when people say to you, we have to have coal, we have to have gas, we can't go to renewables, that simply isn't true. So what's really important is that as we look at this journey, at the moment our own Australian energy market operator has said to us that in the next 2 decades, if we do nothing else, we can get to up to 75% renewables in the system. But if we actually invest in that system, as many of the government agencies are doing at the moment, and looking at things around storage and looking at things around transmission, we can get that to 95%. Now what's interesting is that in both those cases, there's really no coal, there's very little gas, and it's all about having a far more dynamic system. So in one sense, we should be embracing the great opportunity that's before us to really transform our whole economy. And we need everybody on board to think positively about how we move that economy in a very positive direction. And how we, for our youth who are coming through universities, that creates new opportunities, it creates new jobs, to really focus on how do we as a positive go from having a very old type of economy to an incredibly new economy. And many of our chief scientists and people like Alan Finkel talk about the opportunity for Australia to go to 600% renewable energy. So that means using a lot of our wind and solar resources in Australia, and we're the best country in the world, wind and solar, to generate new sources of energy like hydrogen, and then to basically export that energy overseas. So there are many people who think that Australia can be, and I believe we can be, a great renewable energy superpower, which not just produces energy in Australia, but actually exports that energy to the world. So